And let's jump into it, shall we? The latest now on Smokey Robinson, who faced a massive lawsuit from a former manager who claimed that Smokey owed him nearly $1 million in touring profits. Legal affairs journalist Meghann Cuniff has been following this case out of L.A. We love having you on. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
All right, break this down, because I was surprised when I got to the end of the story that you filed there to see what was actually awarded in the end.
Yeah, Smokey Robinson in court, and can you believe he's 83 years old, and this was the first time he had ever testified in a court of law. But this was a lawsuit from a former manager. He has a longtime management company with associations with Motown, who he's relied on. But this was a new guy that he'd brought in back in 2013 because he testified that he wanted to get into acting roles in film and TV, and he thought this guy would be able to help him. They had a falling out, and the dispute in lawsuit was over whether Smokey owed him 10% of his commissions on live performances. And Smokey was really adamant that he didn't owe him anything, but the guy said that he was due 10% of the commissions that Smokey had earned on a pretty robust tour schedule, especially for late in his career like that. But he'd earned almost $9.4 million between 2013 and 2016 on live performances, and Eric Podwell said that he was due 10% of it. So that was what the jury was going to decide. But like you said, what actually ended up happening is pretty interesting, because the jury came back apparently in favor of Podwell. It looked like it was going to be a loss for Smokey Robinson, but then they only awarded $2,000.
And he was asking for, again, almost $1 million. So how did they, is there any understanding to how they came up with that number, just $2 grand?
Yeah, you know, the 2000 was a commission on his duet album, Smokey and Friends, that came out. And he had paid, he'd gotten a $30,000 commission and paid Podwell 10% of that. And this had just kind of been mentioned in trial as an off issue compared to the $940,000. It really was not the focus at all. But Smokey had never testified in court before. He was very energetic on the stand, and he nearly admitted that he was owed $2,000. He even said in cross-examination, as far as I'm concerned, he can have it. So I think the jury was wanting to not give him $940,000 and disagreed on whether he was rightfully owed that, but they couldn't ignore the $2,000, especially after Smokey said, you know, as far as I'm concerned, he can have it.
So Podwell then says, you know what, I will accept this $2,000 because for me, it's really about the principle. You have a signed contract, and you, just because you're a big famous artist, shouldn't be able to just walk away from that. I don't mean to ask, is that something that you believe? But, you know, it's difficult to accept that he's okay with just $2,000 when he's asking for $940,000.
Exactly, especially given the $940,000 request and then just the money that he spent on attorneys over the years. This is a lawsuit that's been going on since 2016. It went to the Labor Commission, and the jury did rule in their verdict form that the contract was rightfully that, but that they said Smokey Robinson was confused and thought that the contract had been amended so that he didn't owe 10% commissions, but that it basically was just an honest mistake and a confusion between the guys. I thought what was remarkable and really kind of a testament to Smokey and to Eric Podwell was after this was all over in the courtroom, they shook hands and they even hugged afterward.
Yeah, and Smokey, I know, stuck around and did some autographs, took some pictures as well. If we have time, I want to talk a little bit about Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. We know Tory Lanez sentenced to jail, but he had some tough words for you. Were you surprised?
He did. He did. You know, I wasn't really surprised, because I think as a journalist, you're used to getting flack like that here and there. And I think we're seeing more and more of that in the United States after what we're seeing in politics is the personal attacks on journalists and the increasing appetite for the public to kind of buy into that and to get into the personality politics that goes on in these reporting, when really I'd rather just, you know, stick to the facts of the case and have people focus on that.
Yeah. I'm wondering if, did Megan Thee Stallion ever reach out to you, since you now are sharing this name as Megan Thee Stallion and Megan the Reporter?
I have not heard from her. You know, I've been a little concerned that I might get a cease and desist letter from her or something, but I don't think she would do that.
Right, maybe we don't say it too much, but we love the name.
Right. You know, I think she's just really looking forward to moving on and putting this behind her. So, you know, while I'd love to see her at a concert or something, I also think that, you know, she's got so many things going on, and she's got a big future ahead. So.
By the way, I have to officially welcome you to our show. I know we're going to start talking to you a lot more because you have some really cool cases that you're front and center for. So I can't wait to hear from you again.
I'd love to. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, where can we find you?
LegalAffairsandTrials.com is my website, and I'm also have a YouTube channel where I'm trying to go live from outside the courthouse and really bring people inside the courtroom for big cases. So Meghann Cuniff is my YouTube channel, and then LegalAffairsandTrials.com.
Meghann Cuniff, thank you so much. Quick break.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.